chicken.
Kill that, I'm gonna become pretty freaking violent. You're gonna have to shove it down your throat yourself. Let that chicken live.
I love you, chicken.
Awesome! This Before the 90 Days season is already delivering on the crazy. And when I say crazy, I'm talking about Renee, who had previously just about given up on dating humans.
I'd rather date like an alien or a high-tech monkey.
But now here she is in Nigeria hanging out with Chidi for the first time. I would say that their first time meeting started off okay. The airport encounter was a bit awkward. But they seem to like each other. So remember, Chidi is blind. He seems like a nice guy, but he obviously can't see the red flags waving all over Renee. But he is about to have a very rude awakening. Chidi is religious, and he says he has some boundaries when it comes to physical relations. I don't know if he made those boundaries clear when they were talking online, or if they just didn't talk about it at all, but he is trying to find a good time to tell Renee that he won't sleep with her before marriage. And she has already been frustrated that they didn't sleep together in the same room the first night.
I couldn't see her face, but I sensed disappointment.
So we can all guess how this is going to go. But before we get to that, we get to see these two, plus Chidi's sister, go to the market and buy a chicken to eat. Chidi's sister Victoria is also teaching Renee how to guide Chidi around town. And I do want to say again that at this point, Victoria seems very supportive of this relationship. She has opened her home and is now helping them get around the market. I'm pointing this out because things with Renee are about to get out of hand. And during these next few scenes, it's going to be Renee acting like a wacko and no one else. So they go to the part of the market where you pick up a chicken to kill and bring home as a meal. A very common thing to do here in Nigeria, but I'm sure the producers and the film crew are like biting their nails in anticipation for what's about to happen. They of course know that Renee, the chicken lady, is about to have a big reaction to this.
If you're gonna off it, just leave it. I'd rather starve.
So pretty quickly, Chidi and his sister recognize that Renee doesn't want to see this chicken offed.
Kill that, I'm gonna become pretty freaking violent.
So they offer to get one that is already dead. Victoria's face is so funny during this. So at first I was like, okay, she's a vegetarian. She doesn't want to see this. Fine. But it turns out she's not a vegetarian.
Do you eat chicken? Oh yeah.
What? So what? She's like grilling her grocery store chicken fillets at home with her 135 chickens running around? She could have said, I don't want to watch this, and then just walked away calmly. But instead, she makes a scene.
Hi, Nadia.
Hi, Nadia.
Come this way.
I'd rather starve.
Come.
This turned into the most dramatic thing when she describes why this way of getting a chicken to eat bothers her.
I eat chicken, but I didn't want to eat that chicken because I felt so bad for the situation. But I'm like, if I just saw like some emotion or thought like, goodbye, little buddy, I mean, any heart at all, you know?
Yes. I'm sure in the meat processing plants in the US that they are very nice to each individual chicken that comes through. Put it in an apartment until it's ready to be processed. And then they give it a full funeral before it's packaged up for the local grocery store. Yes, of course, that's how we do it in the US.
Then I'll go get it.
I won't eat it. You're gonna have to shove it down your throat yourself. Let that
sorry.
chicken live.
So it only took, what, less than a day for Victoria to see Renee's true personality? And it seems like once she saw the crazy, her thoughts on Renee haven't changed much, even to this day. On Instagram, more recently, Victoria made a post that talked about how Renee and Chidi met online in 2018. She says they broke up for a while after Chidi realized that Renee was nuts. But then in June of last year, Renee reached out to Chidi about the show. Apparently, she did not inform him that she was already applying for the show. And then 2 weeks after that, he had producers contacting him for an interview. She mentions Renee being desperate to be on the show. She does not say why she was desperate. I'm curious as to why she was so desperate. She also claims that Renee gave Chidi a smartphone for the show so they could have regular contact. And then says all this stuff about her canceling a trip before the filming because Chidi wouldn't sleep with her previously. So Victoria is basically saying that Renee already knew that Chidi wouldn't sleep with her. Victoria definitely does not seem to like Renee in this post. And in my previous video, I talked about how Chidi had made a post as well, talking about all the insane things Renee had said to him. So we'll have to see where this story leads, since these posts make it seem like this crashed and burned already. I do have a question though about Victoria's post. On the show, during this filming with her scenes, she seems very open into having Renee in her home, with Chidi. So if she knew all of this before Renee had gotten there, I was surprised she was so welcoming. So Victoria could just be very angry with how things turned out, or she didn't know the extent of Renee's craziness until Renee got to Nigeria. Either way, as calm as Victoria is in these scenes now, I mean, she's handling this whole chicken situation pretty well.
The way she flares up, it gives me concerns.
This is not a good start at all to Renee's visit, and it just continues to go downhill after this. While Chidi and Renee are waiting for Victoria to finish shopping at the market, he does acknowledge that Renee made quite a scene when he says that she eats chicken a lot.
It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. But that is Renee.
But he plays this off like she has a lot of passion for her animals and doesn't seem too bothered by it yet. I'm actually really bothered by the fact that Renee is kissing chickens on the street during this scene.
I'm definitely terrified of coming back with ass worms and a rash because of the food and the flies and just how dirty a lot of the things are.
If you're going to get some sort of worms, it's from doing that, you psycho.
Oh, Chidi, look!
Did she just tell him to look?
Arzana Nicole, have a poem for you. Roses are red, Kimberly is crazy. Subscribe to the Kiblz channel.
Almost too lazy. Oh my gosh, lazy.
So the topic comes up of what Chidi can do to make Renee feel special in their relationship. And this is when he drops the news that he won't be sleeping with her until marriage, which we all know watching she's not going to like.
This is the vow I made to God.
She does actually say that they had talked about this and he's now saying something different. I hope they explain that a bit more because right now I'm not inclined to just believe everything Renee says. It does line up with that whole thing where she had her underwear she packed that was textured so he could feel it.
It's real cute, soft, and something that leaves for him to feel like when he touches down the side.
If you remember in a previous episode, Renee said that she was going to change Chidi's mind about his religion.
Eventually, this man will be just as woke as I am.
I'm not sure she meant the celibacy part then. I need to find other words for crazy at this point. Let's look at a thesaurus, shall we? Renee saying that she can change Chidi's mind about this religion is deranged. That's a good word for Renee.
You're listening to your own ways and what you think should be.
It's not what I think should be, but what is morally just.
I think he is overwhelmed by all of this.
You claimed the entire 5 years that you and me were soulmates, and now that I'm down here, you're like, absolutely not.
So even if we take the religion part out, he's saying no, and he's setting a boundary now and not just avoiding it, which I guess is good. Maybe he did change his mind, maybe he didn't, but I don't think she needs to be putting all this pressure on that. Like, they've been together in person for just one day. Why not just take it slow? Get to know each other. She's already said that they don't get a lot of one-on-one time together with his family helping him. She needs to chill out and stop being so... Let me check the thesaurus one more time. She needs to stop being so cuckoo.
And the fact that you're letting religion step in the way of what you knew was between us, like, that's messed up.
I mentioned this in my last video. I think that Renee thought she would have full control in this relationship. She's realized now that that's not the case, but we can already see her trying to push what she wants and not taking no for an answer, which is icky. We don't like that. Whatever the reason he has for not wanting to sleep with her, the guy is uncomfortable, pushing him and freaking out because she feels rejected. I hope this just leads her to going home early. Let me know what you think about this. I can't stand Renee. I'm actually trying to look up new words to describe how insane she is. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think this is going to get even more dramatic on these next few episodes. Thanks for watching. Bye!